Chaotically Nerdy is a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Ethan. You weirdo.
Well, I didn't say what
I
were
was,
you doing. Oh, okay. That's fine.
I'm just trying to make Ethan laugh while you're doing the intro.
That's what we used to always do.
I thought you were still thinking about Jennifer's body.
Oh, yeah. I can see how you could think that.
The movie. I want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Not some random person named
body.
Jennifer.
Yeah. In the shell of your house.
A little on the nose there. No comment?
What do you want me to do about it?
Say there's definitely not a body in my house. Please don't check the garage.
Definitely.
I'm not checking it there. It smells fine.
Definitely can't confirm or deny that there's a body.
Oh, so this week, back to our regularly scheduled program until we finish this. We're going to go back to Baldur's Gate 3 changes.
Our regularly scheduled program for 3 more episodes.
Yeah, for 3 more episodes because we keep breaking up right in the middle of it. This week is going to be Sorcerer. The ones, the points that you use way too fast and then you don't have any. It's another one of those classes that you don't get enough of your
The
shit.
resource points.
Yeah.
Like Bardic Inspiration and stuff like
I've
that.
never had that problem because I just go, give me more spell slots. Spell slot equal point.
It depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
But if you're a warlock, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Fair enough.
If you're a paladin, it doesn't. But if you're like straight sorcerer,
Yeah, I can see
not
it.
advisable. Yeah, you might
Yeah,
might use like twinned or something.
Yeah, but
You
who
definitely
plays
wanna be-
straight sorcerer?
Yeah, you want to be at least like gay sorcerer.
Hey,
You fucked it up. You had such a good line there. You could have said bisexual.
Gay.
that's homophobic.
I did say I hate gay people.
Well, I said I hated sorcerer, and then you suggested.
Oh,
that
I
it
didn't
was-
know.
No, that's your
you.
brain.
You're homophobic.
Yeah.
I'm not homophobic.
Yeah, you made it homophobic. I was just like, yeah, instead of straight sorcerer, you could also be gay sorcerer.
Yeah, he's saying you can be.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're the one
like
that said you
rainbows?
hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, whatever, Jarrett.
You're the one that said you hate gay sorcerers.
No, I didn't. What? I'm fucking leaving.
What, you don't like the Twitter jumping over 17 hoops to make a decision that I agree with?
Right.
No. All right. On to the gay sorcerers. It's
Then
me.
again, I don't know that these are all the changes, but they're all the only ones that I think matter.
Yeah.
So
That's it. Ethan's opinion is all. So I'm up first. The available meta magic options are twinned, subtle, quickened, heightened, extended, distant, and careful.
there's a couple others that are not included from 5e and
Into this.
yeah.
Do you know off the top of your head what
No,
they are?
I don't.
I think those are all the PHP ones, aren't they?
Yes, but there's a
Yeah.
couple others later on.
Yeah,
that
the
were
top.
added.
There's some
Okay.
in I think it's Tasha's,
Yeah.
which is it's like a I don't know what it's called, but it's like a transmuter or it lets you change your damage type.
Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
There's a couple other ones.
Which would be really
There's
beneficial
like
in this
two
game.
others, but they're not really. It would be useful in the game, but it probably hard to.
Yeah.
And they also changed how these are distributed. I don't know if it's on here or later, but like you can only pick certain ones at level 2, and then at quickened you can only get at level or not. You only have access to it after level 3. It's to stop people from taking like a 2-level dip and getting their quicken and
Yeah.
So you had to go at least 3 levels.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Jarrett. Wild magic.
Wild Magic added the controlled chaos ability at level 11, making enemies casting spells around you susceptible to wild magic surges. I have not played this. Does it just like activate a wild magic surge?
I haven't used it.
Yeah. I always use Draconic
Who doesn't?
for my little dip. Never used.
Without a way to force wild magic to be positive or negative, I really don't see a point in using it because it's too random.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how. I mean, I know it still has like the turn you into like a plant or a sheep.
Yeah.
Because there was always those memes.
And you have to
like,
wait till level 11 to get this ability, which is actually kind of cool. So I don't see the point unless you're re-rolling a character later on. Yeah.
And then you just decide you want to do it that late. That's awful late, though.
I mean, it's literally like
It's a lot.
you're in Baldur's Gate at that point.
Baldur's Gate, you're done.
Yeah. If you've done everything, you're like entering Baldur's Gate. If you haven't done everything already, then you're probably almost done with the game.
I think I was level 11 or 10 or 11 when I entered Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So, but there's plenty of shit to do in Baldur's Gate that like you're level 12.
There's a lot more casters too. So yeah.
Which I'm looking at the table, the wild magic.
I don't know if
right
it's
now.
the same.
No, well, no, it's the Baldur's Gate 3
Yeah,
table.
I'm saying I don't know if it's the same as the 5e one or if they have a custom one.
I would assume it's probably custom just because of some of the stuff that.
I'm sure there's probably like some spells that won't work or like they're not gonna have the.
They have the potted plant.
I know they have the potted plant because there's.
I was about to say I've seen it.
There's memes of people like when they go into a cutscene and they have used the wild magic surge, and they have become a plant.
There's the
Or
sheep.
a sheep.
You can turn into a sheep.
I'm pretty sure it's a plant. I know the sheep's there.
There's polymorph others, which turn all around you into cats and dogs.
Maybe I don't remember. Maybe the plant's not in there. I don't know why it would be. What's the difference?
Turn magic.
I don't know.
You just hit them, break the spell.
Just throw a fireball.
Yeah. I don't see that the plant thing's
It
on
may
there.
not be in there. It should be.
It
Fix that
doesn't
one.
mean that somebody didn't like mod it and changed like the sheep into the plant thing.
I don't know.
But I mean, it looks like it would be worth taking it because there's not a whole lot.
Of bad things.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
there's
like-
some, but
Just more funny.
yeah. Well, not even that. Like most of them seem fairly useful. You can swap positions with a target
Oh, they've transposed.
each time you cast a spell for 5 turns. You can summon a lava mephit or a mud mephit. Spike growth, which looks like it's able to be controlled where you put it whenever that happens.
That's kind of good.
There's one that's sorcery points.
Is it the one you get
That's the one where
4 sorcery points back or all
no,
sorcery?
this is actually read to where until the end of your next turn,
Oh.
each spell you cast restores sorcery points equal to its spell slot level.
That's
Oh,
good
Yeah, that's really good if
for
that
a
was to
straight
happen.
sorcerer.
Yeah.
If you're super high level, because you can be like, I cast chain lightning and get 6 sorcery points back and go, I cast chain lightning again.
quicken. Yeah.
They're slow. It literally just makes you slow, the caster. I already said the polymorph ones. There's a resilient spear one. Like, a lot of these are good. Like honestly, I would probably, if I was gonna take one and you could make that happen fairly often, I would probably take wild magic, just for the ability of this.
I could take the AC and the +1 hit point from Draconic.
It's much more stable.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
Consistent.
That's one of the main things.
Well, I guess wild magic is supposed to be unstable.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But it looks unstably well.
It sounds
be
better.
good.
It sounds
I don't think that's a
better
word.
than 5e.
5es is not really all that good.
It's just boring. It's
Yeah.
No, it also puts a lot of onus on the DM to be like, and roll a wild surge table.
Well, really, that's the problem. Is it's not a function of the class;
Yeah.
it's a function of the DM interacting, and you have to decide it. And the DM, we've talked about this before. The DM's already busy,
Yeah.
so why not make it a function of the class?
Yeah.
Like, why not do it where you can actually push it to actually happen?
It's like a hard coded thing in the rules of the sorcerer, wild magic
yeah.
sorcerer. It's like it happens on these 4 points.
right.
After these 4 things happen, you're like, okay.
Also, I was reading this off the wiki.
Uh-huh.
It has a note above it that says "Work in progress. Please add to the table any info you have." So that may not be all of them. So the plant could be an option. Could very well be an option. But
We'll find this out.
I'm trying to look. to see like.
Oddly enough, Wild Magic Barbarian is far better at being wild magic than.
See, it doesn't.
Sorcerer.
It doesn't say what causes it to. Yeah, it literally just says could happen. It doesn't say when it does on here.
It's probably like a percent.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. But since it's worked into the background of the game, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
You could probably rig up like a dice roll system. So whenever you cast a spell, you have to roll a percentile die. You could probably work up something
That sounds still like more like work on the DM.
No, not for the DM.
He's saying
for
that like every
player.
time you cast a spell, the player
you
rolls
roll
that
a percentile die, and then if you get
20% of the time,
then you have like an over under of causing a wild magic surge.
And you could also then work that into a like first level spell is 10% that it happens.
Right.
Second level is 20, and you just keep going up.
Because we're just trying to figure out a way that we could implement a similar thing into the tabletop.
To make it to where this is better on tabletop.
More like the Baldur's Gate, which is better.
Well, make it where it's more wanted.
It's still like the DM and the player are still having to like, negotiate for like when it happened. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not hard.
But I think what he's saying is
you make it into a function
Sure.
that the player does whenever they say cast a spell that's not a cantrip.
Yeah.
They would then roll a percentile die before they finish casting the spell, saying, I'm going to cast the spell. They roll their die. It either functions or it doesn't function. And then you have your effect on the table.
Yeah. And I like that because you can have that in a percentile, and you could even, like I said, I think you could choose spells like slot levels.
Yeah.
Or spell levels.
And then you could have it also adjusted like the actual like the actual place, like the percentile that it is actually going to cause a wild magic surge.
Yeah.
You could have it affected by your proficiency and your charisma.
Yeah. All right. Ethan, you're up next. Take us into Draconic.
Draconic Sorcerer. They added Fly as a permanent ability with unlimited uses at level 11. You do not get the cool dragon wings that go with it, however.
And that's probably just because they didn't want to code it in.
Well, yeah, it sounds like they can just use the same fly animation that you get from being a
Illithid.
Yeah. It's just, they get to copy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it easier.
Which then makes you wonder, why would anybody go to level 11 of Draconic if you can just eat the Mind Flayer? Tadpole.
Yeah.
That's the word I was thinking.
Well, there is one benefit to Sorcerer, though, with the Fly, is that the Storm Sorcerer we're going to do next, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have a better fly ability.
It does.
Well, we're going to separate this up to where one person's not reading all of Storm, so we'll do like each little one. Ethan, take us into the first one on Storm.
The Wind Speaker class feature is removed. I think that just gives you a language.
I don't know.
I don't remember exactly, but I think it just gives you some primordial language. And then I'll read the next one. The Storm Guide class feature was also removed. That's probably some other. I didn't look it up.
I am looking these up right now.
Okay.
You just keep talking.
Wind Speaker, yeah, you're right. Gives you primordial. What was it? What was the other one?
Storm Guide.
Storm Guide. You gain the ability to subtly control the weather around you, so you can just
Stop the rain.
stop the rain.
Make it windy.
Yeah.
Change the direction.
Yeah.
So that
Something
that
you
one's-
can't do in the game.
The
So,
first,
like,
both of those are just because. What's the point?
Well, because
The
there's no
language?
actual weather effects in the
Yeah.
game.
The language, I feel like they could have kept. I don't know why that's not in there.
Yeah, but does it? Do you run into anybody that doesn't speak?
I don't know.
Common.
Yeah.
But like, you can use those languages. Can't you? Am I crazy? Like,
No,
it's
you're
like,
crazy. I
don't
have
think
never-
you can.
The only language-based thing that I have used was speak with animals or speak with dead. Those are the only two that have allowed
maybe.
me to
It's
speak.
probably just because I'm like, oh yeah, it's like because you're a race. That makes
You were
more
just
sense.
automatically assuming that you were understanding.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
The only other language in the game is there's some other languages in the game, but they're all like things that you can understand.
Yeah.
Like the Myconids. But because
That's
there's
like telepathy.
symbiotic, that's telepathy. Yeah.
And I get why they do that, because you give people too many options and they miss out on stuff. Like,
You miss out on stuff anyway.
they're going to.
Yeah.
But you can't say that they missed it because they didn't choose the right language.
Right.
If they
Just
missed
make
it
it
because they didn't go the right way, that's on them.
Yeah.
You just make an extra dialogue option. Be like, oh, I know Dwarvish, so I speak Dwarvish to the Duergar, or I speak Undercommon, I speak it to the Duergar.
Yeah.
Now, if you're playing Storm Sorcerer, though, and you were able to make it rain,
That would be broken.
it would be broken in the game because then everything would be electrified all the time.
Yes, everything have the wet condition, and you just be like, die.
And that may have also been why they took it out.
It's very possible.
Yeah. Because
Although you're right, I don't think there is any really weather conditions.
I know I used Create Water so often
Yeah, that's a
when I was playing
specific-
Storm Sorcerer. Or was playing Storm Cleric with Storm 2 levels in Storm Sorcerer. I used it so often just to make people wet.
Yeah, the wet condition is
Yeah. I'm making all
great.
of them wet.
Making all the bitches wet.
Oh yeah.
And then they become electrified.
Yeah. Grease lightning.
Oh, Jarrett, you're up next, bud.
Hang on, let me go back to that.
You can just read the next two, and then I'll
Yep.
read the last two.
Add various storm-based spells to your list of known spells at level 6.
Makes sense.
Don't know what they are. Doesn't matter.
I think they got Lightning Bolt, which they got
saying-
Call Lightning.
I would
Which
say
they
Call
don't-
Lightning
They
makes-
got Call Lightning, which they don't get normally.
Makes more sense than lightning bolt.
Yeah, because there's not a lot that gets call light. It's just Druid, isn't it?
Yes.
Druid and Tempest Cleric.
Yeah.
Tempest gets it?
Yeah, Tempest gets
Yeah,
it.
they don't get lightning bolt. It's shitty.
Tempest doesn't get lightning bolt?
Yeah. They should.
But they get Call Lightning.
They get call lightning, which is the worst for what you would want on a Tempest Cleric.
The benefit to Call Lightning is it is concentration. You can keep using it without
Redoing it.
expending more spell slots.
But I feel like the Tempest wants to just go big Nova damage
yeah.
on a lightning.
Oh,
So
yeah, absolutely.
you don't get lightning bolt.
yeah, but that's why you take 5 levels in
Bitch,
Sorcerer.
that's why you get a scroll of lightning bolts.
Why not a wand?
Wand of
There's
lightning
a
bolt.
wand,
Yeah.
wand of lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Lightning bolt.
Better.
Zippity zap.
Zippity zap.
Read the next one, Jarrett.
Oh. I forgot we were talking.
Tempestuous.
Yep. Tempestuous flight. My magic flight range is increased from 10 to 30 feet. I think that's just more to put it on par with all the other movement options.
So what it is at level 2, you get a whenever you
use
any spell to cause lightning or thunder damage, you can fly 10 feet.
Yeah.
So now you can
Without
fly,
any other ability to fly.
Yeah.
and now you can fly 30 feet.
It's a free action to fly 10 feet.
And you are a storm sorcerer, so you should
Right.
pretty much always be casting that.
Yep.
Well, sometimes.
ABC. Always be casting.
He's not wrong.
You, as a nurse, you say ABC. My brain thinks airway, breathing, and I can't remember the last one.
A fucking great nurse you are.
Yeah. So you said ABC, and I was like, why do you care about their fucking airway?
No, always be casting. That's the ABCs of playing a caster.
Of the next 3 episodes.
Always be casting.
Fair enough. And then I'm up. So Heart of the Storm range is increased from 10 foot to 20 feet. I don't know what Heart of the Storm does.
Zippy zaps.
Zippy zaps.
Yeah, you gain resistance to lightning and thunder damage. In addition, when you start casting a spell, first level heart does lightning or thunder damage. Storming magic erupts for you, causing creatures you can see within 10 feet of you to take damage equal to half your sorcerer level. So,
So it just gives,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's good. And then
You're like, zippity zap, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm glad you still got that pulled up because Storm's Fury ability is given to you at level 11 instead of level 14. So they give you an extra ability.
It's not that impressive.
It's not.
It's when you hit with me the attack, you use your reaction and deal lightning damage back to the attacker.
Oh, okay.
The damage is equal to your sorcerer level.
So
But
11.
and you're not going to want to use your reaction.
But
to be honest.
because the capstones aren't very good, I do normally suggest people take Tempest Cleric, even if they're going to go the rest.
Yeah, if you get to 11 and you just go one level, or no, you take
No.
two.
Start with the Tempest Cleric so you get the armor proficiencies.
Yeah, you're right.
And then take the rest in Sorcerer if you want to go full Sorcerer, just so that you get the proficiencies.
Yeah, but I think you also want to go to level 2. Is that when you get your Channel Divinity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to at least go 2 levels of that. To
Yeah. So you're never even going to hit level 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not
I mean, I guess you could play.
without a channel divinity.
Well, no, you could play like one character is a Tempest Cleric and the other character is a Storm Sorcerer, but I don't really know. Like,
I don't think I'd combine that.
Yeah, I don't know how
You're
that
gonna really
would benefit you.
well, you're like, you use the Storm Sorcerer to like quicken, create water, and then you're still
And
using.
then yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you're still using the
but
same.
that's also required on them.
You're playing a really niche tag team build.
You are.
And yeah, it's okay probably, but
It would probably work better in a tabletop setting.
in the tabletop setting, it wouldn't work at all because wet
Well,
don't
yeah.
exist.
Yeah, that's true. But if it did, it would work.
Yeah.
Tag teaming seems to work better in.
nobody gets wet at the tabletop.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen anybody tag team on 5e ever. Like actually work together as a team.
We have before, not me and you, but
I have never like that I can remember like an actual
yeah, you guys did. Yeah. So yeah,
like playing their class. Like not, I'm saying that like
playing your classes out.
yeah,
No,
to be like a
He's saying
tag
like
team.
full on
Yeah,
tag team.
I mean,
yeah.
like-
Like of course we like you'd be like, oh yeah, you grapple him and I'll
climbing his butt.
yeah. But
Tyler,
but I mean like yeah, like planning
twice in a row.
Should have stayed down the first time.
planning your class together to be like this tag team of like I have all these lightning abilities and you have all this water making everything wet abilities.
Yeah,
this
I don't think
example.
I've ever seen
Yeah.
somebody tag team to that extent.
Because it doesn't, you don't really, I feel like you don't get rewarded enough in 5e to do it. It's not.
Well, also at the same time that you start to plan to tag team that, your DM's gonna fucking murder one of them.
Yeah.
Just one.
Especially if you're trying to go for like some overpowered broken combo that you read online.
I find most people just go Nova damage. That's what
Absolutely.
people try to do because it works.
There is no reason not to do it in 5e.
Yeah, no, it's
Because who the fuck runs 6 to 8 encounters a day? As is recommended by the DMG.
That's just recommended.
It
I
is.
mean, yeah, you're right. It is
that's for
recommended.
people playing like a 6 hour like one shot.
Even then, people do not do that.
No,
So that's everything for the sorcerer changes, at least that we could find in short term notice. What of these changes would you keep to tabletop? I guess is the way I'm asking that for the DMs.
the storm changes are pretty good.
They're nice.
Taking the things out wasn't necessary. I think you could leave it in
It's-
for the tabletop,
yeah,
but it's just
it's-
because it's the function of the game. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Not because they're like bad or useless, really. Just because like they don't work in the game. Because
I feel like
Because
wild
of the way
magic.
the game works.
yeah,
I also feel like wild magic works better, but it's still not good.
it's still not great.
Yeah. Which, like we talked, if you add a percentile die to roll to that, it could make wild magic happen more often and be less of a strain on your DM.
Yeah.
But on the tabletop, I just don't think they wanted to add the wings
Yeah.
to the game.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
Well, it
the
would've
permanent fly
changed.
ability at level 11, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There's so many other classes now they get flying.
It'd be fine at level 5 when
Yeah,
you
it
get
would be
access to
fine.
fly.
Yeah.
And it's permanently be allowed them to fly, especially if they have wings. If they have wings, they should be able to fly.
I mean, this is why a lot of
If
people.
they're not wearing medium
yeah.
or
This
heavy
is-
armor.
Because if
Why
you
a lot
take
of
the
people ban Eric Cochran or Wing Tieflings or
Yeah, but say the-
Alkin or
Yeah.
yeah,
whatever has fucking flying.
But realistically, flying, because having played a flying character, it's not that broken.
it's not.
It's almost always a function of a DM that can't like adapt to having a flying character.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, just
I mean, for fuck's sake, when you didn't want me to fly, you put us in a cave.
yeah, it's like you just put them in tight corridors where they can't fly and
Yeah.
break it. It's not that hard, guys.
Plus, if you have a flying character and they're facing off against a group of NPCs,
They shoot that motherfucker
they
down.
shoot it because he's just made a big target out of
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. That's why you play monk.
Or
It does help.
put flying NPCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard.
Well, and
It's not hard.
if you have a decent player, they're not going to fly somewhere that is going to then split the party ridiculously. Because that's my thought is like, well, you know, if you're making something like a house is locked and the person just flies up to the roof and finds a way in that way because that's how they're supposed to, quote unquote, get in.
Go down the chimney.
That was literally where my brain was going since it's so close to Christmas now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the day after Thanksgiving.
But it's also
Christmas time.
also think of it like it's the rule of cool. You're not breaking the game.
Yeah.
And if they are breaking the game, it's because you've allowed something stupid to happen as a DM. They're not breaking the game. Let them have it. Let them have the fun. Let them use it for tactical advantage, like a rogue. Say it's an Owlin rogue, right? And they want to fly and do some reconnaissance. Why wouldn't you let them do that?
You wouldn't stop the druid from turning into
a
a bird
bird.
to fly around and do it.
Right. You wouldn't stop them from doing it. Why would you stop the player from doing it?
Generally-
that has wings.
That's because Druid has to burn a wild shape, and that's a resource.
I even don't think
We
we should
would
have to
allow
burn a wild
most
shape to
likely.
turn into a little
I'm
bird.
saying normally, as written, it is a resource. That's probably why they would allow it. We would be like, yeah, if you want to turn into a fucking sparrow, turn into a sparrow. Who gives a shit?
yeah.
If you can't make the game challenging because one or two of your players has the ability to fly, you've got a problem, not the game and not the player.
You could make the whole damn party fly and it wouldn't be.
No. That sounds
It's just
interest-
air
that sounds-
battles.
That sounds interesting, to be honest. But I don't want to run it. I want to play in it. I don't want to run it.
All right.
That is the thing. Like if you have flying, you have to now work in 3 dimensions of like map building.
That
and
was
accounting.
probably the hardest part as a player
Yeah,
with that
it's
was
trying
to
to
try
figure-
and figure out how high I could get versus how it was just a pain.
Then you got to do like math and shit. You're like, okay, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Like if I'm going down at
You're
this
like,
angle,
yeah, like yeah. What's the
This
feat
is easy
here?
to train for, though. Go play some big brain games out there. Some like RTSs that require 3D thought.
yeah.
It's not, you get used to it. It's not hard. You're not used to it because we walk on the planet.
My brain no work in 3D.
Yeah.
I know only fly in plane and no think. Only sit down,
Only sit and eat peanut.
stare out window, yell at baby
Take nap.
Why yell at baby?
because they're crying
Well,
constantly.
yell at the parent.
No, you shouldn't yell at either one.
Yeah,
They
that's
can't
true.
help it.
Well,
I mean, they could help it by not taking their kid on a fucking
we
plane.
go, there we go.
But
sometimes that's unavoidable.
I'm also not gonna be mad at somebody for taking not everybody has the Midwestern attitude of it's only 15 hours. Let's just drive.
That's definitely true.
Eh,
They're like, we're going from
I took a train.
we're going. Same difference
That's
though.
so much cheaper than a plane, and like you don't have to worry about nothing. And they have food. Like you can get up and walk around, and you can get food. And you don't like if you crash, you're
I would say probably the biggest thing is you don't have to go through fucking the airport.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I told
Train stations were so easy to get around. They didn't even check your bags. You could bring a bomb on there, and no one cares.
God damn it, Ethan. I knew it. I'm saying he's gonna say it.
I had a pocket knife with me the whole time. I forgot to take it out of my pocket, and nobody cared. Like they had people checking bags, like quote checking bags. They're
so
like there's like a line of people
look
walking by them, and they're just waving it.
I was saying, is it like checking bags going into like a ballpark where you're like, they're like, yeah, fucking go
hey,
on.
you're good.
no,
Yeah,
they're
you're
like
good.
checking bags. And they're like, that's a bag.
That's a bag.
Yep,
You
that's a
could have
bag.
C4 strapped to your chest with nothing else on, and they'd be like, "You're good."
Not a suggestion. We want to throw that out
Like,
there.
where are your pants?
When we went to WrestleMania, they just were just like, yeah, go on ahead. We're like, can we take these water bottles in? Yeah, go ahead. They were so over it. They're like, we don't fucking care.
I would not bomb anything. By the way, it's a lot of effort and very dangerous.
This is an indictment on the places.
a lot of
They're not
effort.
paying these
I'd
people
probably
enough.
have to die. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, they don't give a shit enough to check, so they're like, you're not paying me enough to do my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that will wrap up the Sorcerer episode. Use the links in the description to find more of us and look up Ethan's homemade bomb recipe on our Discord.
Oh, the old anarchist cookbook.
Also called chili.
Da bomb, DA. Thank you guys for listening, and we hope to catch you on the next one.
Deuce.
Adios.